Hi everyone, I'm back today with a workout that, I was just thinking of going to the gym and I thought actually I feel like doing a home workout instead. I feel very motivated and inspired to do this and film it because I also wanted to basically check in and say, hey, I'm still around, I'm just working on other things at the minute, but I wanted to let you know that the last sort of year, like a year now, I've been working on the Pull-Up Academy, which has been a small group coaching group, and it's really inspired me to do something way more specific to MyomyTV, or something that you would expect with the home workouts that I had been doing for years. And you may recall that a dream of mine before I left Ireland was I was in the process back then of making MyomyStudio, which is you join it and you get monthly workouts, but you also become part of a community and you get basically, on the addition to it, in learning and being involved in small group training, I've really seen the value of having a live coaching element in there so that I can be there to answer questions and help people get more from the exercises. But also it's a really big piece in accountability as well. It's not just enough necessarily to have yet another Facebook group that you're part of, but there's somebody invested in you just as much as you're invested in the process. So you're both sides, and me and the groups are all invested in this process. And I think that that's hugely valuable because at the end of the day, the workouts can be great, but if you're not able to do them consistently, then we need to address potential barriers, things that are causing those issues. When life gets in the way, you need to sometimes hear that it's okay to only do 2 sets instead of all 3. And sometimes you need to know that it's okay if you're not able to do this variation of an exercise, but here's something else you can do instead, so that you're doing something rather than nothing. And to hear that, and it's specific to you and not just general advice out there, that you've asked a question and it's been answered, I think that that's something online you don't really get. And it's very easy to say, sort of jump off and on different programs because they hold a promise of something, but the promise is never really it's never answering the real question that you're asking, because many people, not everyone, but many people are just wanting to find something that they love and can stay on track with. And the staying on track is, how can we find the thing that's going to get you to be able to stay on track? And it isn't always to do with how you feel about the workouts. It isn't always about whether you feel like training or whether you're motivated or not. It has a lot more complexity to it, and in some ways a lot more simplicity to it if you remove having to feel like doing a workout, but you make it more make it easier for you to do something. And you've seen the wee 3 workouts that I've done, and you've seen me struggle with this too, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm perfect on a pedestal, but that we're in this journey together. And in fact, just another nice one, if anyone hasn't been following on Facebook or Instagram, I'm actually currently 6 months pregnant, and so I've faced certain challenges in the last few months that I have not encountered before, and I have many more I'm going to be facing just down the line, and I'm not going to let that stop me from continuing with this dream of putting MyomyStudio out there. I will keep you posted on MyomyStudio. If I've rambled about it a little bit, it is coming up in the new year, so I do want to get it open before baby arrives in March, so that we can basically get into it. But at the start, I'll be doing like a monthly live call and in the group daily, so that you get that support, well, except weekends. So today's workout is simple in terms of structure. It's set repetitions, but it doesn't have to be. You can kind of work on doing intervals. So that means if I've got 3 supersets, I'm doing 2 sets of each, I'll show you, basically I'll say what the reps and sets are just so you can do it. The workout or the exercises themselves are mostly body weight. There's a few loaded ones, and set reps, as I said, but you can make it easily an interval workout. You can even take away the whole superset and make it just one long round if you want. And that's really it. So I'll not stay on talking for too long, but I wanted to just update you on what's happening and that I am still around. I'm just putting things together, and as a one woman band, it is rather difficult to do everything by yourself. So I had to let some things not be going on while I was able to work with groups and any one-to-one clients that I had, but also this very important project that I am determined to finish, because it is something that, you know, like when you've done, you don't want to regret not doing something, especially when you know it's you know, people have asked you for it over the years. Like, this is the thing that annoys me about it. It's like, I've been asked to do something like this for years, like when I was doing regular videos, and I should have done it back then, but I didn't have the confidence, which is strange. I did so many videos, but I didn't have the confidence that I could pull it off, and now I do. And I have not only the confidence, but I have the know-how of putting something like that together, having the technical know-how without having to employ a lot of people to do these things for me. So that's something that was a barrier for me to doing it then. I honestly was completely overwhelmed by all of the stuff. So I'll get on with the workout now, and I'll see you very briefly at the end. This is like, oh, the usual take 50 of this ending. Like, just say goodbye, Marianne. Just say goodbye and hope you enjoy the workout. But oh no, I have to make it more complicated and not stick in my mind to what I have to say. So that's it for today, everyone. The workout you can do, let me know how you get on. You can do more sets than that. You can introduce intervals if you really want to. But hopefully that'll give you a framework to go by. The high deficit reverse lunge, okay, just a side note, if you want to, I wouldn't recommend starting with that height. If you are new to deficit reverse lunges, I would say start at maybe a step, you know, like half the height, or like a typical step where you go up the stairs, something a little more safe. But stepping backward off a height is a little bit nerve-wracking. So if that's too nerve-wracking, then you could always do a step up as well. So maybe just starting on the ground and stepping up instead. Because if you're starting up on the bench, it's harder to kind of gauge how far you want to step back. But if you start on the ground and step up and then step back down, then you'll have that point of reference for your depth perception there. So that's just a little tip. If you don't like the height at all, then you don't have to do the height. You can do a normal reverse lunge. What else? Yes, if you're interested in MyomyStudio, or you want to hear more about it, updates and all of that, I will be back on YouTube with updates. But also, if you click on the link below, you can add your name to a waiting list, and that's just I'll be sending out updates on that as things progress, and obviously with a launch date. Then you'll find out first of all on the list. So if you click on the link below, that's where you'll end up. And I will, in the meantime, actually between now and probably the opening, we'll actually be moving house. So this studio will be gone, and I will be at yet another new studio, and I think it's going to be another garage. So I'll be in an colder place, bigger ceilings and a little more space. But I'm looking forward to being able to make some more room for more equipment, and although I kind of made do with what I've got here, all the same, it is exciting because it's kind of reminding me of when I was at the garage in my mom's house before I left Ireland. So I'm tempted to paint the walls orange just to kind of commemorate the very you know, the big room that I was in for years in Belfast. So, but MyomyStudio is definitely going to be something else, and MyomyTV has evolved a little bit since then. So anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're here in America, and next week. And if not, if this is ages after Thanksgiving, I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, and I will see you soon. Enjoy, and obviously subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, because even though I haven't been as frequent with new workouts, there's still hundreds and hundreds of workouts to go and see and still share. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching today, and I shall see you soon.